Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Bruce Peavy, and I'm here with head Wildcat coach Jeff Herod. Coach, Savannah Beach came to town last Friday night, the final game of the regular season. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, we're certainly concerned going into it. We'd already wrapped up first place, and you never know. The kids are looking ahead to the playoffs. The fans are looking ahead to the playoffs. We were looking ahead to the playoffs, and so we were very concerned about it. And Beach was on a roll. They had beaten their last two opponents like 31-0, 29-0. But I thought our kids bounced back. We weren't quite as focused against Johnson as we should have been, and I thought we bounced back pretty well against Beach. And I told them before the game, I said, you're not going to be an emotional pitch, but let's be focused and be mentally sharp. And I thought they did that very well.
Very good job. Another undefeated season, 10-0, another region championship. Your thoughts so far on the season as we go into the playoffs?
Well, I think we've had a good year to this point, and being 10-0 is it's not easy. And I told those kids, I've coached a lot of years when we haven't been 10-0, so I certainly know how that feels. And I thought they did a good job throughout the season. We had a monumental task there early, having to travel 14, 15 hours on a bus and play in Ohio Stadium. And, it seems so long ago, we've almost forgotten that. And, at the time, Treasure Coast, we thought was a very good opponent, and having them here and playing very well against them. And, it's still going out and just taking care of business every week in our region. And, I think, people take that for granted a little bit, even myself maybe, but, to be able to go this long and just continue to take care of things that you need to take care of every Friday night, no matter who comes to town. I think it says a lot about our kids, and so I'm very pleased with where we're at right now. But as you know, Bruce, around here, we're not judged by the regular season. We're going to be judged by what happens in the next 5 weeks.
That's true. And also, it's been a real weird year with the changes in games. I know coaches and a lot of times players are creatures of habit, and with the changes, weather-related changes we had to make, the trip to Ohio, and then even last Friday night where we were originally supposed to be on the road and it became a home game. I have to commend the coaching staff and the players for handling all of that and still taking care of business throughout the season.
It has been a crazy year. We've played on a Monday, a Thursday, a Saturday, several Fridays. We've changed locations, like you said. We've delayed weather delays, lightning delays, power outages twice, and rainstorms and good weather and gnats, and it's been a crazy year. But through it all, I think our kids have stayed pretty focused, and hopefully that'll pay off for us down the road.
All right, we'll be right back after these messages with highlights of the Camden County Wildcats and the Savannah Beach Blue Jackets. All right, Coach, this Friday night we start the first round of the state playoffs, and our opponent is North Cobb. We'll be visiting Chris Gilman Stadium. I know y'all looked at the film, your scouting report.
Well, we have a little more history with North Cobb than just looking at the film. We were at defensive camp with them this summer, and I actually played them in a little mini game that goes on at camp, and went with them in team, went with them in an outside period. But in the mini game, when we were actually keeping score, they beat us. So, we have a little history with them. And North Cobb, many of the coaches on our staff I've known forever. One of them I actually coached in high school way back, and been friends with a lot of them, go skiing with some of them. So there's certainly a lot of history between us, even though we have not officially played them ever. North Cobb's out of Region 4. It's a Cobb County region that includes McEachern and Hillgrove. And we know how Hillgrove was last year. We know that they're not any slouches. And I've been told by several of the guys up there that North Cobb's probably the most talented team in that region from top to bottom. They've struggled this year at times. They've looked great at times, and we don't know what we're going to get. But when they roll out there, I was talking to Coach Dorsey at McEachern actually this morning, and then he told me, he said, yeah, during pregame, he said, I wouldn't look down there if I was you. He said, because they're going to be one of the most impressive looking teams that you've seen all year long. And we think they are. I think they're well coached, and again, they've just kind of been hot and cold. And hopefully we won't get their best performance, because when they've been on, they've beaten some real good teams. And they actually beat South Cobb, who was the number 3 seed, in a head-to-head game 2 weeks ago. But because of a crazy tiebreaker, they dropped to 4th. And we don't think we're getting a 4th place caliber team in the first round for sure. But it's the playoffs, and everybody's supposed to be good, and we got to be ready to play no matter who it is.
And based on last year and what happened with Hillgrove, all it takes is a team to get hot, and it's the difference between you playing on or staying at the house.
Well, it is, and again, they're very similar to Hillgrove. Have run the same offense, very similar defense, and have very similar athletes. So we hope, and we've worked real hard on trying to improve in the mistakes we made against Hillgrove last year, and we'll get a chance to find out on Friday.
All right, we hope to see you there. Be there early to greet the Wildcats as they enter the stadium Friday night, 7:30. The Camden County Wildcats will take on the North Cobb Warriors. We hope to see you there.